Call the meeting to order. If everyone could please stand for the pledge of allegiance in the moment of silent reflection, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, can we have roll call, please?
Councilman Eads?
Here.
Councilman McDaniels?
Here.
Councilman Hayes?
Present.
President Peters?
Here.
Councilman Hitt?
Here.
Councilwoman Trainer? Present. Councilman Stahl? Councilman Norman?
Present.
Everybody get a chance to take a look at the minutes? Any corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We do have a public hearing, so I'd make a motion, or could somebody make a motion to exit regular meeting and enter to public hearing?
Make a motion.
A second.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer? Yes. Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Okay. This is over Resolution 126-24. Any questions or concerns? We can bring up Paul for questions.
This is basically 6 properties that weren't originally in the original plans, but were left out inadvertently. So it would be up in the upper left-hand corner there with, it would involve 6 additional properties to London Landing Phase 2.
Yeah, so what we. So, you know, as you go through the planning commission process, you have a roughly engineered design that is not fully engineered, right? So we had a plan that showed roughly 66 lots at that point in time. It got approved for that in that phase. When the engineering was finished, it came out at 72, so it was just a drawing. So it really was within 8.5% or something of the original plan. And the language that council passed was very specific at that particular meeting for 66 lots, which was the preliminary, drawing, with the concern being at that point in time that a traffic study needed to be done and that, some other work had to be done before we went into what is phases 3 and 4. So this really, for this, all at practical purposes, was part of phase 2 that just wasn't precise, and council's approval was very precise, trying to prevent the balance of the build out of that particular property. So it really created then what I call 6 orphan lots, because it's along the prison, boundary, and, that's just how those lots came out when it was done. So it was just a function of the preliminary not being finalized and what have you. Because you don't, it costs $35,000, $40,000 to get it finalized, so you don't do that unless you know you got something approved, and until it's finalized, you don't know how many lots are actually there, so it should have said more or less. I should have asked for more or less, you know what I mean, within a reasonable amount. But that's why we're here today. So, and just to add, the road, the curb, the gutter, the electric, all that's been installed for that as a part of that phase 2. But to be legally and technically correct, we have to go through this process. So. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Okay, thank you.
Right, yeah. Okay.
And just as a reminder, Mr. President, this being a public hearing, you don't have to sign in if you want to speak. You have the opportunity now, correct?
All right. Is there a motion to exit public hearing and enter back into regular meeting?
Make a motion.
No, second.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Okay. On to communications and announcements. We do have a liquor permit for Aldi grocery store that's coming in.
I have a question.
Yes.
So why so early? I mean, if they're not going to be here until, what'd they say, the mid-2025? Why are we giving them a year? Is there, this isn't going to, if we give them the license, this isn't going to stop someone else from, that could be open and being able to use it quicker.
Well, I mean, it's,
I mean, there's only so many licenses, correct?
right. So, I mean, they're getting the ball rolling pretty much, so. Go
The
ahead,
process
Rex.
does take time, so they want to get the, like they said, they want to get the ball rolling on getting that permit issued. Plus, there's really no other grocery store or carryout coming into town right at the present time, and that's the only one that's left.
Okay.
So they wanted to make sure they had that secured. Would affect them building a building if they didn't have a permit secured, so.
Okay. I just,
So this specifically is for a
Oh.
grocery,
Yes.
for a grocery, not
Yes.
just for,
Yeah.
okay.
thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns on it? Okay. All in favor to go with this liquor license?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Aldi has a liquor license. Audience concerns, we have none this evening. On to committee reports. Greg?
Personnel and Finance Committee will meet next Monday, 5:30 in the conference room next door. If you are interested in that, we do record those, and you can watch the recording later. They're not live streamed, but we do have recordings for those. I expect to, I'm not 100% sure, I haven't seen the agenda yet. I expect to have things on there about the police department possibly coming forward, and a tax abatement for Aldi, that should come to finance, and a few other things. But otherwise, we'll meet Monday at 5:30 next door.
Thank you. Brent? You have any?
We have some ambassador program legislation coming up tonight out of the last Public Service Committee meeting. That's all I have.
Rich?
Public safety meeting Tuesday night at 6 PM in the conference room.
Andy?
The Public Service Committee meeting is Tuesday the 11th at 5 o'clock in the meeting room next door.
Shannon?
I don't have any.
Michael?
We do have a, I think we have to publicly announce it. We do have a work session scheduled for Monday, 6:30 PM, or after the Finance Committee meeting, whichever comes first. I just want to make sure that we got that out there, proper notice. It's a working session, so I don't know if the public will want to come sit there and listen to us talk, but if that's your thing, we'll be there.
That's sorry about board
Yeah, the ward boundaries.
boundaries, you should probably mention.
I'm sorry, ward boundaries. Sometimes they call them. Thank you.
On to city official reports. Rex, you have anything? Okay. On to old business. Fourth reading, Resolution 126-24. Can I get a motion to read by title number?
So moved.
A second.
Resolution 126-24, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, a resolution adopting the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
So this is in reference to the public hearing that we just had. The 6 properties for London Phase 2. If there's no more comments, I'd like to make a motion to adopt that.
Second.
Second.
Shannon?
Okay. Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Okay, resolution 126-24 has passed. On for second reading, resolution 131-24. We get a motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
Resolution 131-24, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, a resolution increasing appropriations.
So this is to appropriate funds for the Marks communication system. It's a multi-area radio communication system that the fire department uses. I believe it's, was it $900?
$900. Any questions?
I'd like to make a motion, go ahead. Suspend the three reading, go ahead and pass this so they can get this money.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
A motion to adopt?
Second.
Michael's got it, second.
Okay. Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Okay, resolution 131-24 has passed. On to resolution 132-24. Motion to read by title number.
So moved.
Resolution 132,
Did we make a motion?
Suspend and then motion
Okay, sorry, I just zoned out there for a second. Sorry. Sorry.
Resolution 132-24, sponsored by Shannon Trainer, a resolution increasing appropriations.
This resolution, along with the one to follow, authorizing, this is a increase of appropriations in the amount of $15,278.60 for an invoice that the city received from the state of Ohio for road work that was completed. This is our portion of that. This resolution is to increase the appropriations. The following resolution is to authorize the auditor to issue a warrant for the payment of that invoice in the same dollar amount. The work was done in 2019.
Council wishes to keep it on.
Wait, this,
That's fine. Yep. Okay. Resolution 133-24. We get a motion to read by title number.
So moved.
I'll second.
Resolution 133-24, sponsored by Shannon Trainer, a resolution authorizing the auditor's warrant for payment.
We've already talked about it. Keep it on.
Yep. Resolution 134-24. Can I get a motion to read by title number?
So moved.
second.
Resolution 134-24, sponsored by Greg Eads, a resolution increasing appropriations.
So this came from Finance Committee. We've discussed this. Three of the members here of council had reviewed different plans that were submitted to us. Our choices with a company by the name of OHM. It should be less than this amount. I think it was $82,500. This also should include the amount to help pay for the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission to help out with this. I have not heard any objections. I've not heard anyone even really question this. I was hoping to at least get some feedback if anybody wanted to. We're hearing no feedback from anyone unless we have anybody in the audience that has any feedback today. Then it would be my motion to suspend the rules and move forward with this tonight.
My second.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes. Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, take one. Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 134-24 is passed. On to Resolution 135-24. Can I get a motion to read by title number?
So moved. Second.
Resolution 135-24, sponsored by Greg Eads. A resolution authorizing the safety director to enter into a contract with OHM.
So this allows our safety service director to go ahead and enter into the contract, leaves that money out there so that it can be spent. I will question, it does specifically say the $82,500 not to exceed that amount, although we have a resolution increasing appropriations by $99,000. I think we've discussed that. We don't need to make any additional changes. This is specifically for OHM because it's over the threshold. We have to do that. The secondary part's not over the threshold. We don't have to do that. I will say this, I didn't say it before, and I meant to. As this goes forward, anyone that's listening at home, anybody that watches this later or reads the Messenger when they write an article about this, anyone that has a desire to maybe serve on a steering committee or a group that's within that, I think we would appreciate having feedback if anybody wants to do that. That being said, I've not heard any objections to this or any conversations about this. I also move to suspend the rules to pass this tonight.
Second.
Is that Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniel?
Yes.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Who motioned for adoption?
Rich.
All right, I gotta read. Councilman Eads?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt? Or excuse me, McDaniel?
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Resolution 135-24 is passed. On to Resolution 137-24. Can I get a motion to read by title and number?
So moved.
A second.
Resolution 137-24, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, a resolution adopting the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
So this is London Landing Phase 3. Involves 70 properties. And it's set for public hearing on June 20th.
So you can see on up on the overhead, that's for Phase 3. That's the document that we have also.
So that's coming off of Route 56. They're in between American States and I guess it would be,
Garfield?
yeah. That'll head back and join the other development. We'll move on to new business. Ordinance 140-24. Can I get a motion to read by title and number?
So moved. Second.
Ordinance 140-24, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, an ordinance vacating an alley.
Okay, so this is between the property 211 and 213 Tolan. And we had approved it before. but a piece of that property is owned by Columbia Gas, and we've not been able to get a response from them to okay that vacation, so we're just bringing it forward again to exclude that piece of property that Columbia Gas owns, to vacate that piece, not involving their property. It's been approved by everyone on the BPU, other than the water department, wants to retain access to that area.
And this will go to public hearing on July 18th.
July 18th.
Anything else on this one? Good. On to Resolution 141-24. We get a motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
Resolution 141-24, sponsored by Brent McDaniel. A resolution to establish London Parks and Recreation Ambassador Program.
Yeah, this is going to give the Parks and Rec another tool for the problems they've been having with vandalism and things like that. And I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule like we did the other part it's supposed to work with.
I'll second.
Well, it's a volunteer program to help supplement the security in the park plus other areas also around town.
In the staggered hours when the other employees are gone, we can still have a presence in the park, keeping an eye on things. Seems to be when most of the problems occur,
I think
later in the evening.
Parks and Recreation would determine any kind of rules and
Yeah,
regulations for those volunteers.
Yeah, the law director said it'd probably be best if the Parks and Rec set up all the rules for it and all that. That way they can take from the ones we had, take what they want and don't want out of it.
I think we have to be careful when we say the word security when you're talking about the ambassador program, because that is not the primary purpose of the ambassador program. The primary that is a
No, I said have a presence, yeah.
right. That's a benefit of it. Security kind of comes along with it because you have more volunteers in the parks, more of an official sort of eye there. But the big thing about the ambassador is exactly in the name. It's if they're the nature ambassador, they might be the person that walks through our parks with a tour of people pointing out the different plants, trees, and those sorts of things that we have. If we have a trails ambassador, and I know we don't own the trails, but they are, when you think of London, you think of bicycle trails. So we could have an ambassador there. And especially with that mural there, it gives us the opportunity to have an ambassador maybe show a group of people, explain what the murals are about. And as they're doing that, the security part comes in with, they're doing this several times a month. So they're going to be probably the ones to notice quicker if there's any graffiti, probably be the ones to know quicker if there's a pothole in the bike trail, or if there's a bathroom broke somewhere. So I just want to make sure we don't, because, the first reaction that we got was, are we going to have these guardian angels? And I don't know if that takes me back to.
Vigilantes, I think they call them.
Was it vigilantes or something back in New York
Yeah.
when they took over?
Yeah.
That's not what it is. It's more of a, like the name, it's more like it's an ambassador.
Yeah.
They're there to help people who are in the park, maybe guide them. But that was my reading of what it was.
So there was
Is this something that Parks and Rec could do? I mean, there's no funding involved with this. So is this something that Parks and Rec could essentially set up on their own, organizing a bunch of volunteers to take photos and, engage with the public at the parks?
They could, and they could have. And
They've had plenty of opportunity too. Yeah.
So that was kind of the reasoning. We went out and found a program, and brought
So
it.
this is just to encourage the Parks and Rec?
Well,
in order
we
to-
give them the program, and then as it says in the legislation, they can go in and make any changes they want. But now at least they have a program that, as far as we're aware of,
Guidelines.
they've not had before. So, and yeah, is it kind of maybe a push? Yeah, it probably, maybe a little bit. But,
It wasn't really a push, it was just more like, some
well,
solutions.
you can.
Trying to help the problems they were having, yeah, yeah.
But that's pretty much all it is. It's giving them a program that they can jump off of or.
Well, there's been a motion to suspend in a second.
Okay, I was waiting for you guys to tell me you guys were done talking, sorry.
I-
Councilman Eads?
No.
Sorry. Councilman Norman?
Yes.
Councilman Hitt?
Yes.
Councilman McDaniels?
Yes.
Councilman Hayes?
Yes.
Councilwoman Trainer?
No.
Suspension has failed, so any other questions on this? Rex, were you going to make a comment? Okay.
I was going to, but I don't have to now.
Okay. All right, so Resolution 141 will stay, -24 will stay on. On to roundtable. Michael,
Thanks for coming out, ladies. I saw you walking, because I walk here too. So I saw you all walking. Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for coming out again. I missed you, the last meeting you weren't here, right? I don't remember your name. Yeah. Mike. I didn't, I know you didn't. The only thing I have is a shameless plug. London Lions is going to have our community event on Saturday, this Saturday, from 12 to 4, free hot dogs, free hamburgers. The first 200 kids get swag bags. We're going to have a three-legged race, the duck race. So just come out and enjoy the day. Hopefully we'll have some good sunshine. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming in.
Shannon?
Did a little bit of research into finding some more pedestrian safety signage that we can hopefully get before committee and maybe have some physical reminders about pedestrian safety, traffic awareness coming hopefully before the end of the summer.
Andy?
Yep, Public Service Committee meeting is next Tuesday, the 11th, at 5 o'clock in the meeting room next door. And thanks for those who are here tonight showing an interest in what's going on in the city.
Rich?
Thank everybody for coming out tonight. Appreciate it. Safety meeting will be this coming Tuesday night at 6 o'clock in the conference room. I'd like to thank all of our city employees, our firefighters, our emergency medical personnel, our police officers, for your due diligence in serving our city and serving it well. Today, June 6, 1944, 80 years ago today, Allied troops and American troops stormed the Normandy beaches. 2,501 Americans were killed. 4,414 Allied troops were killed. Over 5,000 wounded. There was so much blood, the water was turning red. And I think we ought to, and I'm going to ask for a moment of silence for those people that were killed. If they hadn't made the sacrifice, the greatest generation, God only knows what we'd be doing sitting here tonight, or if we'd even be allowed to sit here tonight in an open forum like this. So I would like to ask for a moment of silence for all those that made the supreme sacrifice on June 6, 1944, if you will, please. I thank you. That's all I got.
Frank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. And that's all I got.
Greg?
Another shameless plug for the Lions kickoff the summer bash. I'm also in the Lions Club. We have food coming. We've got Blue Star Farms.
Blue Star Farm.
Blue Star Farms are supplying hamburgers. We have hot dogs. We're going to have like sandwich or bags for people, bag lunches. That's going to make it a lot more convenient. We're hoping that the duck race works. If you have never done that or you've never seen it, people buy ducks, they drop them in, and whichever duck gets to the finish line first wins. We've always wanted to do that. We have a very small creek that we hope has enough water to get the ducks from point A to point B, because it might take a while. We don't know. We hope that happens. I want to thank both the fire department and the police department. They're going to be there that day, at least a presence there, and we appreciate that. Anybody that wants to volunteer, we would appreciate volunteers. We'll find something for you to do as a Lions Club member. We would appreciate all the help. The other thing I want to bring up is I registered for but did not get in because of, I guess, a capacity issue for a webinar that went on about navigating the rail crossing elimination program. You guys may have seen that, you may not have, but they have a national program to get rid of crossings, right? And when I think about that, if we no longer need the spur to go to Armalay or Purex or whatever you want to call it, then it gives us the opportunity to create that bike path there if we take those crossings out. There might be federal money to do that. And I don't know if anybody from the administration or anybody else had a chance to see that. We did get afterwards, an email that said, if you weren't able to participate due to capacity issues, here's the YouTube event. You can watch that. I'd like to watch that, and maybe we can consider that later on how we do that. It wouldn't just be that. There's also, and I'd read about this program before, there was also the possibility of some cities have taken out railroad crossings and created a place for safety vehicles to cross. So it would be great if we could get across those tracks. That's always been the hang-up. That's why I feel we need the South Station, because we can't get from point A to point B at certain times. So I hope we get more information on that and we can bring it forward later. Beyond that, I hope to see everybody Saturday. Thank you.
All right. I have nothing, so I get a motion to adjourn.
Motion for adjournment.
7:04 p.m.
Wow.
Most nights we're not even